I want to talk about an experience that I had at a cafe many years ago in which a group of my friends and I, we went in, we got seated, and then they gave us our menus, but they didn't serve us for 30 minutes. And we were so upset that we just got up and left. But as we got up and left, the waiter came up to us and offered us 5 free drinks. And they put it on like these like, you know, like cards, right? And well, basically what happened is that we never end up using those coupons, and we've actually never went back to that cafe ever again. So basically they gave us shit service and were slow on their service. No, not even slow. They were negligent. They didn't even bother to come check up on us. They lost our business forever. And that's basically the consequences of being slow. I guess in this case, they were negligent. But I'm not here to really talk about that today. I'm actually here to talk about the rewards of being fast. So without further ado, let's get started. So I want to talk about being fast and what benefits it has for a graphic designer and the clients, okay? So these 3 things basically boil down to, 1, you're gonna make more money. 2, you're gonna save time for your clients, which ultimately saves them more money. And 3, your reputation is gonna be awesome. You're gonna look like a boss if you work really quickly. So before I start any of this, working fast is very important, but it should never compromise the quality of work that you do. So that is the golden rule to any of this. You gotta provide really good quality work first and foremost, and it at least has to be on time. But once you've got a really good grasp of the quality of your work, it's time to step it up and decrease the amount of time it takes for you to do your work. Now, I'm gonna talk about number 1, okay? Number 1, you can make more money if you work faster. And I'm gonna break this up into 2 ways, okay? The first way that you can make more money is if you can think about it this way, right? If you charge per project, the amount of money that you get at the end of the project is always gonna be the same, but the amount of commitment of your own time into the project is completely dependent on you. For example, a client comes up to you and says, we have a branding project and the deadline is 7 days. We need this done this week, and we're willing to, you know, pay $1,000 for it, okay? And of course you say yes. And of course at the end of the week, you finish the project with flying colors. It looks great. It took you 30 hours. Doing some quick math, $1,000 divided by 30, you make about $30 an hour, which is pretty good for a 30-hour work week, right? You make $1,000, that's $4,000 a month. So we're gonna reach for the skies a little bit. And let's just say, for example, hypothetically, you're able to shave off 10 hours of your time from that project, right? From 30 and you bring it down to 20. So that means now you're making $50 an hour and your work week now is only 20 hours for the work week, okay? And that's really good because what can you do with that extra 20 hours of time, right? You can, in theory, pick up another branding project for another $1,000 and make $2,000 a week. And that turns out to be, you know, $8,000 a month, and that's over 6 figures a year, okay? Which is awesome. So as long as you maintain the same quality of work and you can just do it faster, you're gonna be able to make more per hour on your projects, right? Now, the second way you can make more money off of designing fast is being able to have the option to charge a rush fee. Let's take that same client that we just talked to for the branding project. You did a wonderful job for them. They loved it. The client comes back and says, we love the quality of work that you did. You worked very quickly. We like that. We want to give you another project that's also branding, and it's going to be $1,000 as well. But the thing is, our deadline's a little bit shorter this time. The deadline is only 4 days. And at this point, you can be like, okay, well, cool, no problem. I would love to accept your job. But since the deadline is a little bit shorter this time, there's gonna be a rush fee on that. And basically it's gonna be $1,300, okay? And you start negotiating from there. And at that point, you know, because they're on a tighter deadline, a lot of times companies would be willing to pay more to get things done faster, which is bringing me to my second point. By working fast, you ultimately save the company or your client more time. And as we all know, time is money. And depending on the size of your client, the bigger they are, the more willing they are to pay for high quality service and a faster turnaround. So let's talk about another hypothetical situation in which a client is shopping around for design agencies and freelancers, and they found a bunch of good candidates that all had the same level of work, that all fits within the style of whatever the client's looking for. They will almost go with the option that is the fastest. okay? And this is more and more true the bigger the company or your client is. So make sure you deliver everything in really high quality and in awesome fashion, on time, and maybe even a little bit ahead of schedule, because that little bit ahead of schedule definitely makes you look really, really good. And that's gonna bring me to my third point, which is reputation. If you build a reputation for being a high quality designer that has extremely quick turnaround times, word is gonna spread throughout the company, and maybe your client is gonna tell their business friends who also might pass the information onto their clients, and so forth and so forth. A good word, a good reputation travels fast. But then I guess on the flip side, a bad reputation travels faster. Just make sure you do a good job and that will never happen. So, because you have a good reputation, you're gonna be able to get more and more clients. And let's bring this full circle now, back to number one, making more money. If you were able to shrink that 30-hour work week into a 20-hour work week and just make your workflow very efficient. In fact, I'm gonna make a video about this. That's a good idea. I'm gonna make a video on some of the things that I did to kind of really increase my workflow. Even if it's like a few seconds here and there, that turns into minutes, and minutes turn into hours, and hours turns into weeks, and weeks turn into clients. And then at the end of the year, you're gonna have like 2 or 3 more extra clients. That could be a lot more extra money a year just by being more efficient. But anyways, bringing it back full circle, all that good reputation and good word of mouth is gonna bring you more business to help you fill the rest of that 20 hours in that same work week, okay? And yeah, I mean, that's basically it, you know? Like, if you wanna think about it in any way, the foundation of your design and the quality of your work is like the cake, right? And the cherry on top is gonna be how fast you do it. And you can put as many cherries as you want on top of this cake, right? I mean, at a certain point, there's certain projects can only be done so fast, but just know that the faster you work, it's like the gift that keeps on giving, right? You're gonna make more money, you're gonna be able to charge more for rush times, you're gonna make the clients happy, which in turn is gonna tell more of their clients and business partners. That's gonna ultimately come back to you for more business, which is ultimately gonna make you more money, and the cycle is going to continue, right? So, and that's basically it for this video. The lesson here is get good at what you do, and if you're already good, be faster at it. So, good luck on all of your freelancing out there and future endeavors, and yeah, see you next time.